talk about it.
I can't get it done right now.
You can right after we finish this show, Bruce. Oh, I'm sorry. Hi, folks. We're talking about surgical procedures.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. We're comparing surgeries that he is getting and I need. That's exactly right. That is exactly right. And the cool part about you is this will extend your life exponentially.
Something like that.
And for me, it'll make me walk for another 3 or 4 days before I fall over.
Hey, before we get too far into this, Bruce, I want to thank you for the $250 stipend at the Firefly restaurant in Effingham. That was very kind of you. And the company at Wabash, very kind of you.
Well, I appreciate that.
And putting me up in the nice hotel. Thank you again. Thank you again.
Those folks up there, they do outstanding.
They have great food up there. It's a lot like a Burger King, only different.
Well, quite a bit different.
Anyway, thank you.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. How y'all doing? Welcome to Big Talk with Bruce Dickey here on Wabash Catch TV. Look who's here. He's back, ladies and gentlemen, the friend of those who have no friends.
You know him, you love him.
You know him, you love him, Mr. Len Wells. We are going to talk today about a variety of subjects.
We are?
I got to thinking, Saturday Night Live. You ever watch
I love
TV
that show. Yeah.
They every time after
Amy
the election,
Schumer was last
she did a great job.
I thought she did too. Hilarious. Went a little on the raunchy side, but funny.
That's what Amy Schumer is. She is
very raunch.
By the way, her new show, she's back to doing her show.
Yes.
Have you been watching?
I have not.
Pretty good. I didn't realize she was doing it again. Me and the wife watched a couple of them last night. Pretty funny. There's something I'll tell you about here. It's pretty good. But I'm not going to tell you about it
on the air.
On the air, no. Where was it? Oh, so yeah, Len is here.
Yes.
Because he is like the go-to. He is the guy. He is the know-all, see-all after an election.
Was there an election?
No, Dave Chappelle is on Saturday Night Live. He always comes on, and he came on after the presidential election of 16, the presidential election of 20. He's coming on this weekend.
Good.
On Saturday Night. I wish he was coming on Big Talk with Bruce Dickey.
But I
must admit.
You haven't asked him.
I love that you're here,
Thank you.
If Chappelle wanted this date.
I'm out of here. I'm out of here.
See you later. So Lynn comes on to make... actually, ladies and gentlemen, we're not even going to talk about the election
politics.
We're not going to talk about it.
I get the willies just thinking about it.
Put it out of your mind right now.
It's over.
We're not going to talk about
2 more years.
That's exactly right. What are we going to talk about, folks? We're going to talk about plenty of stuff. It'll be interesting. We're going to talk about the Murber trial.
Yeah, there's an interesting twist, not twist, but an interesting
and a few
fact
other.
about that.
A few other. He's the basically the bottle washer for crimebeat.net.
Bottle washer. Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Editor and
bottle washer.
Main writer.
Poster person, writer person, editor.
Guy, for crimebeat.net. And
if you haven't looked at it, you really need to. It's got a lot of news in it.
It is an outstanding thing. What are we doing today?
Well, you mean what? Thursday? I don't know.
Thursday, November 10th.
Oh, this ought to be rich.
You want to know what you're
rich?
You want to know what we're going to do today?
Let's hear it. Ladies and gentlemen, Bruce Dickey.
This is actually pretty good. There's 2 or 3 things going on today that I think would be a ball.
Okay.
I think would be a lot of fun.
Okay, I'm ready.
Up in Effingham today, ladies and gentlemen, it's family reading night.
Oh.
At the
now, how many books have they banned up there?
Huh?
How many books have they banned?
I don't know if they've banned any, not to my knowledge.
I hope they ban none.
It's
anyway, go ahead.
Look, a family fun event.
There's a dinosaur reading.
And a magician is going to be there.
Oh, ain't that a peach? Remember that one?
What?
Ain't that a peach? That's a magic trick. Remember that one?
Yes, I do. Sharing the magic of reading. That will be the you can't tell that one either, can you?
No. But it's hilarious. Punchlines are funny without even the setup.
Yeah, people probably want to know that setup. Though. That's Family Read Night up in Effingham.
That'll be
tonight.
a good time.
Where is that?
Effingham.
It was at the library, right?
Probably.
Effingham High School.
It might be at the Legion. I don't know.
Hearts Cafe at the Effingham High School.
That is really nice.
So let's try that. Speaking of Effingham, one other thing going on up there tonight. This is kind of in commemoration for tomorrow. Of course, tomorrow is Veterans Day.
Correct.
I'm certain that wherever you are in the area, you'll probably be able to find a Veterans Day service.
Sure.
I'd be checking around 11 o'clock tomorrow.
Absolutely.
On Friday. Probably 11 o'clock on Friday.
11.
11.
That's
Somebody
right.
will be having a service. The United States Air Force Band tonight, November 10th, in Effingham at the Effingham Performance Center
Wow.
from 5 o'clock to 7 o'clock. It is the U.S. Air Force Band Roots in Blue.
Wow.
The Effingham Sunrise and Noon Rotary Clubs are hosting the U.S. Air Force Band. And again at the EPC. Doors open at 5. The performance will start at 6. Complimentary tickets may be picked up at the Effingham County Chamber of
That is
Commerce
so
office.
nice.
That's up there on Fayette, heading to
Yes.
the interstate. Up on the left
Do you
side.
know, Bruce, if you know enough about it, will that Air Force Band have any French horns?
I'm guessing they will, yes.
I love French horns.
Yeah.
Isn't it a wonderful sound they make?
It's a terrible sound.
No, it's a wonderful sound. I love French horns. But go ahead, please.
It is a unique sound.
It is.
That a French horn makes. They make a very it sound unlike any other. Is what a French horn does.
Well, as long as you keep your valves oiled, and then it works great, right?
That's exactly right.
They make a valve oil, don't they, for
Sure.
horns?
Of course
Even
they
your
do.
tuba.
Absolutely right.
Anyway, go ahead, please.
Absolutely right. Yeah. So I'm
horn.
certain they'll have a French horn. The thing is, the U.S. Air Force Band. We're missing our good friend Curry Baker.
Oh, I miss him really. Curry left us here a few months ago.
Yeah, May, February, something like that. November.
Anyway, he's just a great guy and a great musician. And anyway, we miss him.
We miss.
And he was an Air Force guy.
He was in the Air Force Band for about 25 years.
Yes.
So,
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
So we miss Curry, but I want to make sure I mention his name. What else is going on? Finding your get up and go. This is what you need.
My get up and goes got up and went.
I
got a million of them.
In Salem, up at the U of I Extension webinar, presenter will explain what accounts for the ebb and flow of levels of motivation in life.
At a webinar.
Learning how to respond can help individuals. Well, it's the webinar at the office. A webinar into the
the information will be great.
U of I Extension office.
The information will be great. At least it wasn't like a slideshow. Ding, ding. Remember those?
Yes, I do. Mr. What was his name? Tom Ehrlich is no.
Yes.
Ulrich. Pardon me. Yeah. That's too bad.
That'll be a nice time.
That'll be a
lot of good
nice
information.
time. So find your get up and go. Again, that's in Salem
And
at
a webinar.
the U of I Extension office. They'll have a webinar.
Open bar?
I hope so. Good Lord, I hope so.
I doubt it.
Also at the Brian Bennett Library over in Salem today. This is pretty fun. No, not all that much fun.
Well, it might be.
Informative. I don't think so. Let's see. Larry Rogers is going to present a service. He's going to talk about his service and experiences in Vietnam.
Ooh.
Oh, gosh. Larry will narrate a slide presentation of photos that he took.
But I tell you what,
while
he
in
lived
Vietnam.
it. He lived it.
We were just making fun of slide presentation.
But he lived it.
This is entirely different. Absolutely.
And this is somebody that's been there, done that, and has a perspective that nobody else could have.
Oh, absolutely right. He's
So
going to be
that would be worth going to.
Again, he's going to be at the Brian Bennett Library today from 1 to 2 o'clock, speaking about his experiences in Vietnam. If you want more information, give him a call at 618-548-3006.
That'll be a great program. People need to remember how that actually was.
On November 10th
This will be
each
big.
year, we celebrate National Civic Pride Day.
Oh.
This inspires everyone to promote the dynamic communities that they live in. Civic pride belongs to the people who are at the heart of the city that they live in. It brings. How is civic pride in Mill Shoals these days?
I'll tell you what, it's great. People fly their Confederate flags, and there's a few Confederate flags in Mill Shoals. I find that hard to believe and disheartening, but that's okay.
I have a neighbor in Fairfield.
It happens.
It happens. I have a neighbor in Fairfield who flies a Confederate flag that has a gigantic pot leaf in the middle of it.
Now that's country.
That is good.
The only thing missing is right down in the right-hand corner, a Trump.
Yeah, there you go.
I apologize.
Well, that's who knows? Maybe
there is.
I haven't looked that close at it. So yeah, happy National Civic Pride Day.
As well it should be.
What else is today? Nothing goes along with civic pride and Confederate flags,
Confederate flag,
and pot leaves in the middle of them, then, ladies and gentlemen, happy birthday to the United States Marine Corps. You think we could come along with any more widely varied?
Well, the Marine Corps birthday is a big deal. It's a very big deal.
Exactly right. Of course, folks, the U.S. Marine Corps branch of the U.S. Armed Forces responsible providing the power protection from the sea. They use the mobility of the Navy to deliver combined arms task forces repeatedly.
They are an absolutely amazing branch of our military.
Continental Congress of the United States. Well, actually, probably wasn't even the United States yet in 1775. Continental Congress first established the Continental Marines on November 10th, 1775, leading up to the American Revolution. 2 battalions of Marines fought for independence. 2
not 2 battalions.
Hey, that'd be really cool. Can you imagine battalions of tubas?
Oh, the enemy would surrender immediately.
It would be over like that. Boom, boom. Way quick.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
1775, leading the American Revolution. The birth of the U.S. Marine Corps began as a way to augment naval forces in the Revolutionary War. In 2004, 20,000 Marines deployed to Anbar province in Iraq. Many Marines celebrated this birthday in places like Fallujah, Ramadi, Al-Qaim, and decisively engaged in combat. So
salute, seriously.
Salute. The Marine Corps history, of course, they have now a big cake cutting ceremony.
They do, with the big swords.
That's right.
The ceremonial swords.
In 1925, they've been doing that actually since 1925.
Wow.
Actually since 1923. They moved it to Philadelphia in 1925.
I must say this.
Marine Ball.
I'm a big supporter of all branches of our military, but I must say the dress uniform of the Marines is just outstanding.
Well, look at those.
Just outstanding.
That's just sharp. The men and women are soldiers there in the Marines. Outstanding. Lynn, what does Semper Fidelis mean?
I forget, and I feel like an idiot.
Semper Fidelis.
Semper Fi.
You should.
I should know that. Like it's on the tip of my tongue, but please tell me.
Always.
Forever.
Faithful.
Always faithful.
Always faithful. Fidelis.
Fidelis.
That's what the name.
Always.
That's
faithful.
where the name of the dog comes. Fido is from faithful.
Faithful. Thank you.
Semper Fidelis.
Semper Fidelis.
What does "Ura" mean?
Let's go. Let's go.
It's just a battle cry.
Yeah, battle cry. Let's go.
Doesn't read.
Pick up your arms and go.
What is a devil dog?
Oh man, I should know that.
During World War I, the legend goes that the German soldiers took to calling the United States Marines devil dogs for their tenacity.
Ooh.
In 1918, a U.S. recruiting poster headlined with the phrase, Teufel Hemden, puts the story into full circulation across the country. Although the German expression was rare and oddly worded, its source blurry at best, the nickname took a firm hold.
Wow.
The devil dog.
In other words, the Marines would grab a hold and would not let go.
That's exactly right. What else is today, ladies and gentlemen? National Vanilla Cupcake Day. Happy National.
Did you not bring any?
I did not. I didn't realize until this morning. I feel bad.
How about that show prep, huh?
A lot of show prep.
I love Neller.
When did cupcakes? How far back? When was the first recipe notation of a cupcake?
1805.
Boy, that's really good. I was going to give you 10 years leeway either way, and you got it.
Really?
1796.
Wow.
When a recipe notation for a cake to be baked in small cups was written in the American Cookery by Amelia Simmons.
That was Martha Stewart, wasn't it? She's that old, isn't she?
Amelia Simmons.
Amelia Simmons.
Yeah.
That's Richard's sister, isn't it? It's a festival.
I don't know that it is or not.
It could be. I mean, I don't know.
Good-looking cupcakes right there.
The more icing, the better.
What are cakes made from mini cupcakes called?
Cake pops. No?
Pull-aparts.
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 Well, there's a business over by St. Louis called Pull-Aparts, where you go in and take a part out of a junk car. It's called
That's
Pull-Apart.
right next to where we've moved over to.
That other
That's
place.
right next to that other one.
Another Pull-Apart.
That's right next to the pull. That pulls apart.
Pull your own part. There you go. Seriously, I mean, it's
no. We're not walking any farther down that road.
I'm serious, like an alternator or a transmission.
Yeah.
You pull your own part.
That's exactly right. What's on television, folks? What do you want
Something
to
good, I hope.
College football tonight. Georgia Southern is going to be at Louisiana taking on the Raging Cajuns.
Yes.
I believe that's in Monroe.
Louisiana?
Yeah.
I hope so.
That'll be at 6:30 on ESPNU, channel 642. Tulsa is at Memphis tonight, down in Memphis on ESPN, channel 601. The Sharks are at St. Louis tonight. Blues lost their 8th game in a row last night.
Is it time for a coaching change? Or?
They are not responding to their coach, and that's too bad because he's good.
Wow.
They're going. I don't know if they're going to
8 in a row. That's pretty bad.
Was it 8 in a row or 9 in a row on Tuesday?
Terrible.
Terrible. NCAA men's basketball. Okay, this is always fun. This is always a good time. Help with when Lynn helps us figure out the names of teams. ACC Channel 159 tonight at 5 p.m. Lehigh takes on Virginia Tech. I defy you to pick either one.
The Lehigh Dolphins.
Hawks.
The Lehigh. That's Lehigh, Florida.
Mountain Hawks.
Mountain Hawks. That's not Florida, is it?
No, Mountain Hawks. Virginia Tech's the Hokies. Hokies. Then that'll be followed by the Radford Highlanders versus the Notre Dame
Fighting Irish.
There you go. On BTN tonight, the Big Ten Network, channel 600 at 6 or probably at 5:30. Charleston Southern, the Buccaneers taking on the Ohio State.
The Ohio State. I should know this.
You should know this. Buckeyes. There you go. Buccaneers versus Buckeyes.
There's a punchline about Buccaneers.
Bethune-Cookman. There are probably more than one. Bethune-Cookman Wildcats will be at Indiana.
Never heard of them before. Is that real school?
Bethune-Cookman. Yeah,
but what?
Well, they're playing Indiana, so they're probably terrible.
I'm sure they are.
Indiana's setting them up to knock them down.
I'd say so.
And then that's at 7:30 tonight. Central Michigan, the Chippewas. I should have asked you that.
Chippewas? That's an Indian name, correct?
Chippewas? They still have an Indian name.
Or it also could be a thing you chew up limbs with.
The Marquette Golden Eagles. That's on Fox Sports
DR Chippewa.
And then at 8 o'clock tonight, it is NODAC, the North Dakota
Dust Devils.
Fighting Hawks. Used to be, I would have accepted Fighting Sioux. They changed their Indian name.
They had a boy named Sioux.
They were Sioux.
Sioux.
Yeah. Fighting Sioux versus the number 9 Creighton.
The Creighton Broken Knees.
Blue Jays.
Okay, great.
That's Lynn Wells. I'm Bruce Dickey. We're going to be right back after this. Stick around.
When you want an honest deal and hometown service without the runaround, go to Lamont Chevrolet Chrysler in Fairfield. Let Gabe McGahey, Sheldon Bunning, Jeff Black, Dennis Downs, Matthew Rogers, or Caleb Dunn score the best deal for you on your next new or pre-owned vehicle. Parts and service departments with factory-trained technicians and express lane and state-of-the-art tire and alignment technology. Lamont's always inspects your battery, antifreeze, wipers, and tires for free. We want you prepared for the open road ahead. Open 24/7 at LaMonsOnline.com. You'll like the way we do business.
I'm Dr. Eric Pikus. I'm a general practice physician here at CRHPC, and I work at the Clay Medical Center in Flora. One of the things that I love about working for CRHPC is the fact that it's a federally qualified healthcare center. And that means that we can take care of any patient, whatever the case may be. We don't have to worry about their financial situation. And I love the fact that we can take care of anybody that needs our help. So no matter what care somebody needs, we're going to give them the best possible care available without judgment.
Briscoe Surplus Sales on the northeast edge of Flora is your one-stop do-it-all shop. Looking for rugged boots and footwear from great brands like Lacrosse, Rocky, and Carolina? They're there. How about top-notch small engine parts and service? Briscoe Surplus Sales has it. Whether you're wiring your switches or switching your wiring, Briscoe Surplus Sales has the solution and the know-how to help you get the job done right the first time. Briscoe Surplus Sales, your one-stop do-it-all shop.
At Clay City Banking Company, we're all on the same team, regardless of zip code. At home, work, school, or across the country, you can be part of our team with our cutting-edge mobile banking products. From your hand, you can check balances, transfer money, make deposits, and pay bills. Looking for a loan? We've got you covered with our mortgage, agriculture, commercial, and consumer loans. Join our team today. Clay City, Flora, Louisville, and Fairfield Banking Companies. We're the hometown banks, member FDIC, and equal housing lender.
It is all things new at Zimdar's Heating, Air Conditioning, and Appliance Repair. We have a new line of heating and cooling equipment and new technicians. Our new equipment line offers 24 months free financing and excellent warranty coverage. Our experienced service technicians can provide you with quality service and repairs on all brands of HVAC equipment. Zimdar's has been serving Clay County and the surrounding areas for over 23 years. The employees of Zimdar's are here to help, so call local and call Zimdar's.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Big Talk with you. Okay?
Yeah, it scared me.
Well,
You should always be ready for a hot mic.
that's exactly right. Rule number one.
All mics are hot.
All mics are hot all the time. Hopefully not. But thank you so much for joining us today here on Big Talk with Bruce Dickey. Guest today is Lynn Wells from crimebeat.net.
Yes.
Welcome back.
Not all my news is about crime, really. Well, some of it. Much of it is.
A lot of it. Well, yeah, that's the thing. It's called crimebeat.net, but you're also putting out very informative, helpful information from time to time.
Absolutely.
Like such as yesterday when there was a sizable wreck on Route 45. Yeah. You gave
took
good
pictures and everything.
Good information for people to get around it.
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
avoid that. So thank you very much Thank you so much for all
No,
you
thank
do.
you.
No, Lynn. Thank you for all that you do for everybody. Crime Beat. We're only BSing a little bit here. crimebeat.net is actually it's an outstanding website.
Yeah, thank you.
You get if you go to what was it, the red line in there to all you do to sign up for emails.
To get to sign up for the VIP club. It's what it's called. We just send you breaking news stories and stuff like that. And we don't cover you up with a bunch of stuff either. And it's all free.
All breaking news. It's good big stuff that you want to hear about.
Right.
If the Joe Bob gets arrested or something like that. And
Joe Bob. Has he? You tell me about that later.
I'll tell you later about Joe Bob. Joe Bob's got a big story.
But I have interesting stories from time to time.
You do have very interesting stories from time to time. I understand there was a do you call it a mishap? A hunting mishap?
A mishap that turned into another mishap.
A mishap that turned
on top of a mishap.
Tell me this story about the hunting mishap.
Okay, here's a gentleman by the name
because hunting season is coming up.
We're right in the middle of it, actually. Deer season's
right now. Right now it's bow and arrow, but it's not.
It'll soon be shotgun.
Shotgun's coming up next weekend.
I think so.
Yeah.
A gentleman by the name of Ron Slifer out of Watson, Illinois, which is a community just south of Effingham.
They are on Wabash.
They're great people.
Could be
great people
watching the show up there.
Well, Mr.
Slifer may be watching the show.
I hope he is.
Yeah.
I hope so. Anyway, he operates a bloodhound service, Ron Slifer's Bloodhounds. Okay? And his bloodhounds are trained to track wounded deer versus, fugitives and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
And what happens is they're
not trained to track fabric. Like
blood trails.
They're trained for
blood
deer
trails.
blood.
So anyway, a lot in southern Illinois is big deer hunting country. Big.
All over the place.
People come from all over the country to hunt trophy deer in southern Illinois.
It's closer than Colorado.
Absolutely. So people come up from Georgia and Alabama and Florida,
Louisiana,
to hunt deer. Louisiana. They pay big money to outfitters so to look and hunt and get a trophy deer.
Yes.
Well, this one particular deer hunter shot a deer with a crossbow, and it was a big deer, and so it was something you don't just let disappear. But the deer took off in the woods and went across a CRP field and disappeared into another wooded area, and so it didn't drop. He hit him.
Sure.
Left a blood trail, but he couldn't find him.
That's too bad. Oh, he couldn't find him.
Couldn't find him. He's lost. So what do? You call Ron Slifer's Bloodhound Service.
This will, I would assume, be time sensitive.
Oh, yes. All has to be done the same day.
Yeah.
So Mr. Schleifer and an associate come down to this area, which he wouldn't tell me specifically where it is because it's, like a honey hole for some
It's
hunters.
somebody's hunting, yeah. Somebody's deer.
So anyway, they get a bloodhound out and they start tracking the blood, okay, the blood trail of this deer.
Okay.
And they're going along, they go across this field and start to go into this wood, and whammo! The hunter who had shot the deer originally inadvertently discharged his crossbow and hit Mr. Schleifer in the lower leg just below his left knee.
Oh, no.
Now, this is a mechanical arrow, the arrow point. On impact, it opens up and makes a 2-inch hole. Okay? So it hit just below his knee and lodged in his tibia, in his bone.
The tibia and the fibia.
Yeah, there's two bones down there. Well, this particular blade lodged in his bone. So he immediately dropped. And lucky for him, one of the people who was with him was a paramedic / EMT or whatever. Got him leaned up against a tree, stopped the flow of blood, so and made sure he didn't go into shock. So of course they had cell phones, and they were able to get medical help right away in the form of a helicopter.
Oh, good.
Chopper lands at the scene of the accident, and they take him to Barnes Jewish Hospital in St. Louis, Missouri. Okay. He undergoes emergency surgery there, first of all, to remove that arrow from the bone, and then to repair all the damaged blood vessels and everything else, and get him sewed up. Happy ending. The guy, was terrible that he got shot, but it's wonderful that he got arrested. Didn't bleed to death.
Thank heavens. That's a great story.
Thank you. Well, that's not all.
Oh,
but wait,
there's more.
Oh, there's lots more. So anyway, Mr. Schleifer is recovering. So the next day, they keep him one night, for observation,
okay. Right.
And that next afternoon they release him from the hospital.
That's cool.
So Mr. Schleifer's wife pulls the van up into the front, the ramp up there at the front door. They're going to bring him out in a wheelchair.
Oh gosh.
They bring him out in a wheelchair.
Nothing can go wrong.
No, nothing. They wheel him out in a wheelchair, and they have a van, like a minivan. So he gets in the very back of the minivan and lays down because his legs, his broken bone and cast and all this stuff. So he lays down because it's just miserably uncomfortable to try to sit in the seat.
You can't sit in the front seat.
So he lays down.
He's not going to be wanting to sit at the Burger King window or something.
No. So anyway, they get ready to leave, and the wife says, "Oh, darn it, I forgot something back in your hospital room." So he said, "That's no problem. I'm going to be right here. I ain't going nowhere." So she runs back into the hospital to pick up something that she forgot in his room. And a guy gets in the driver's seat, shuts the door, and drives off. And
it got stolen.
Oh, it's great. So anyway, Mr. Schleifer says, "Hey, what's going on? What's going on, man?" And the guy says, I'm with hospital security, and you're not allowed to park here. I'm with hospital security. You're not allowed to park here. Well, anyway, Mr. Schleifer raises up and he notices this ain't no hospital security guy, and they take off.
No.
They take off. So he's been kidnapped, inadvertently kidnapped. The guy was there to steal the car, not to kidnap somebody or carjack somebody. So off they go into St. Louis. And Mr. Schleifer said, "What's going on?" He said, "Just shut up." Anyway, so
he didn't have a car. He wouldn't have had a phone on him.
Wait a minute, it gets better. So Mr. Schleifer, in his infinite wisdom, just starts telling this guy, "You have no idea how bad the past 2 days have been for me. I got shot with an arrow."
He's telling his story.
He tells him the story. And the guy apparently felt for him because he pulls over in front of the Cardinal Glennon Children's Hospital and bails. So there's Ron Schleifer laying in the back of the van.
So he goes from Barnes to
Children's Hospital. They drive all over the place. Listen to this story. So anyway, he bails. So Mr. Schleifer says, "Thank God I got my phone." So he gets his phone out and calls his wife. Well, her phone's in the van. So he said, "Well, now what do I do?" Well, about this time, Mrs. Schleifer comes out of the hospital and says, "Where's my van? Where's my husband?" And so the real hospital security comes out. And they said, what do you mean? And anyway, she explains that he was just discharged and he's gone. So they let Mrs. Schleifer use one of their cell phones and called him.
Good.
And he was able to tell them where he was. So hospital security from Cardinal Glennon went out and rescued him, and they finally got reunited and went home. But he got shot and kidnapped all within 48 hours.
Oh Oh no!
Isn't that an amazing story?
That is awful.
And I spoke to him last week, and he's just a great guy. He really is. And he said, "Well, I'm now able to walk on crutches, so he's on crutches now, and he doesn't know when he'll be able to get back in the field. But he says his prognosis is he'll be able to be, just fine, total recovery. But that's a terrible injury.
Okay, I gotta know. There's
no, they didn't find the deer.
That was the question.
No, they had that little emergency that kind of stopped things.
Yeah. Well, no. My other question was, did they find the deer? Did they get the dogs? Did they get did the dogs get away? I mean, because they were chasing the deer.
I can't answer that. I don't know. I'm sure they brought the dogs back.
I mean, that's the one question if you get
did the dogs take off and they're never been seen again? Never seen again.
They're in the Fayette County or something now. You never know.
But anyway,
St. Peter's or
poor Mr. Slifer got shot in the back. It's a miracle. If it had been a few inches higher, he could have also sliced into a major artery and he could have bled to death right there.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff down there.
Or puncture a major organ, if it had been higher. It is a miracle that he survived, and then he got kidnapped / carjacked on top of it. You can't make that stuff up, man.
Oh, see, now this is the kind of stuff.
That's the kind of stuff that I like.
You can find on crimebeat.net.
And I'll be honest with you, the way I got that story was a friend of mine in Charleston, Illinois.
Really?
Had heard a rumor about it, and he called me, and I looked up, and turns out Mr. Slifer has a little Facebook site, and I called him, and he answered the phone, and that's how I got the story.
That's beautiful.
Thank you.
I love that. I love it. That's great. Again, crimebeat.net. Heck, we're going to tell some other interesting and odd, recent stories.
Yeah, very, very current stories
of local and law enforcement. You're watching Big Talk with Bruce Dickey. That's Len Wells. I'm Bruce Dickey. Back in a sec.
At Midwest Farm and Land, we've got a team of dedicated land, home, and commercial experts ready to help.
We understand that buying or selling a property can be extremely stressful. Let our folks take care of you and help you find your perfect piece of property.
Whether it's recreational or hunting land, farmland, homes, or commercial, we're there to help.
Local experts with national reach. If you're interested, give us a call, 618-532-1961, or check us out on the website, MidwestFarmCo.com.
When you want an honest deal and hometown service without the runaround, go to Lamont Chevrolet Chrysler in Fairfield. Let Gabe McGahey, Sheldon Bunning, Jeff Black, Dennis Downs, Matthew Rogers, or Caleb Dunn score the best deal for you on your next new or pre-owned vehicle. Parts and service departments with factory-trained technicians and express lane and state-of-the-art tire and alignment technology. Lamont's always inspects your battery, antifreeze, wipers, and tires for free. We want you prepared for the open road ahead. Open 24/7 at LaMonsOnline.com. You'll like the way we do business.
For service beyond the surface, call Carter Trucking in Fairfield. Carter's trucks are ready to haul your big freight and grain. So whatever you call Jeremy Carter, the Mucho Mulcho Man, the driveway doctor, the gravel guru, the pothole pirate, the rockin' redneck, the smooth operator, the mudhole master, or the happy hauler, just call him. 842-2022 to haul your big freight, grain, and more with trucks from Carter Trucking, Williamson Drive in Fairfield.
No, I didn't spill my break, dude.
Well,
it was water anyway.
I was going to say, if it hadn't had a mixer in it, it wouldn't have.
We are currently.
I know we are.
I don't have. It's
water.
It's water.
Okay.
It's like Johnny Carson's water. It's like Ed McMahon's water.
Ladies and gentlemen, it really is water. It really is. However.
Welcome back.
Coffee.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Big Talk with Bruce Dickey here on Wabash Catch TV. Lynn Wells is here, and we are talking about a wide variety of suspects.
Suspects? Well, whatever.
Subjects. Actually, we'll end up talking about one suspect.
Absolutely,
later on.
who is currently in custody.
But right now, we were talking about a victim.
Yes.
Of a mishap or two, and now we're going to talk about a felon.
Yes.
No longer a suspect.
Yes, a convicted felon.
A convicted felon.
Brody Murberger.
Last month was the big Brody Murberger trial. We could sit here for days and days and days and talk about different aspects of the trial, but you found one particular thing particularly interesting.
In my opinion, it all boiled down to blood evidence. In Mr. Murberger's car, and the blood came back to Megan Nichols, the victim.
That.
Thank you.
There you go.
Looked like my Uncle Howard.
That's exactly right.
Thank you, Bruce. But anyway, it all boiled down to blood evidence, in Mr. Murberger's car. And this is, to me, an interesting story how this blood evidence almost didn't make the case. Almost did not make the case.
The blood evidence was convincing.
Very, very convincing.
Tremendously convincing. He had blood in the trunk.
But it almost did not.
Now tell me this story.
So the Illinois State Police forensics team, they come in and they have a search warrant to go through Mr. Murberger's vehicle.
Okay.
And they believe that Megan had been in that vehicle, and there may be some evidence of her.
And this is early on.
Early on.
Terrifically early on.
So they do I'll call it the luminol. I'm sure it's probably something more advanced than that. We'll say luminol in the area around the trunk lid, the hatch, the handle, whatever you want to call it. Boom. Comes up positive for human blood. Ooh, very nice. Well, we got a smoking gun here, and this is the Illinois State Police forensics team. Well, they do another presumptive test, and it comes back negative. Okay, well, it looked like it was, human blood, but apparently it wasn't. So they shut the lid, move on to the next part of the investigation.
Okay.
That was the end of that. Well, so fast forward into as they get the feds involved in this, the federal investigators, the FBI gets involved in this case,
which came on because of the suspected kidnapping.
Perhaps, yes, all that. Anyway, so the FBI, they get involved in this, and they said, we really need to take a second look at that car. We really want to take a second look at that car, and they realize, the report from the state police said, yeah, it was maybe blood, maybe not blood, but nothing definitive, nothing concrete.
Right.
So the FBI says we need to look at that car again. Well, guess what? The car is gone.
Oh, okay.
Car has been sold. No, I take that back. The car has been wrecked. The car was wrecked on the Interstate 64. Where do cars that get wrecked and they're totaled out go? They go to a junkyard somewhere. Yeah. And they wind up getting sold to somebody else who's either a pull-apart place or something like that, or wherever insurance companies take wrecked cars, it winds up somewhere.
Mississippi.
So they were lucky enough to have Mr. Murberger's car's VIN number, vehicle identification number.
Okay.
So now they're looking for Brody's car. It's been wrecked and it's gone for however long years or whatever. It's gone. And so miraculously,
I am astonished that they find it.
They found it in Missouri at a
pull apart,
that type of business.
No kidding.
In Missouri, so they get
I didn't realize that.
So they get a search warrant for that vehicle. They retrieve the vehicle. The FBI, they do their tests, and one of the things they did was they pulled up the liner in the trunk.
Really?
There is a lot of vehicles have a liner in the trunk.
Sure.
It's kind of like a carpet, we'll call it. And they pulled that up, and there were drips. You could see runs of blood down beneath the liner. They did their tests, and it came back positive for human blood. They did their DNA. It came back to Megan. And so okay, there. How are you going to explain that? And you know how Brody explained it in the trial, don't you?
Yeah.
And I don't know if you want to go into that or not, but
not particularly.
But I'll just fast forward to his explanation beyond the obvious. There, he had blood on his shirt from Megan. He admits that he had her blood on his shirt,
right? And
so he put it across the trunk and he hosed it off at a car wash or something to get rid of the blood, and that blood must have run down into the trunk. That's how that happened. And so the prosecution said, well, here's the thing about this, Mr. Murberger. You had all this time to tell that story, and we're at trial now. It's the first time you've ever told that story. How did this just now come up? How did you just now remember that that's how the blood could have gotten into the trunk? And so the prosecution said, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, that's one of the biggest lies that you've heard during this entire process.
Yeah.
And it's not believable. And how that blood got there, that's just not a believable story. And the jury agreed. And in, I think it was 65 or 70 minutes.
Yeah, I was going to say it didn't take
an hour and 10 minutes, guilty. But again, so much of that case hinged on the blood evidence, serology. It hinged on that, and the fact that that car was gone, wrecked, gone, could have gone through a crusher.
I'm fascinated that they were able to find it.
Apparently, VINs are just like they're everywhere. I mean, you can't get rid of them. So even if that car had been crushed and shipped to China to go through a steel mill or something like that, the VIN would say, okay, it was crushed and it went on a ocean-going vessel and went to China. So they could track it all the way from the wreck to where it wound up. But it wound up in Missouri. They recovered it, retested the blood evidence, and it came up in trial, and that was one of many things, but one of the key things that convicted Mr. Merbarger was that blood evidence.
That's just fascinating.
So your serologists at the FBI lab in Washington, D.C. did a fabulous job. And then the field agents, the forensic people in the field, did a marvelous job, too.
You know, that's the thing. In looking at the case, it went to... The FBI came in, during the kidnapping phase, but they didn't start looking for the car until 2018.
Right. It was a long time.
I mean, the kidnapping occurred in, 14 or 15? 14. And it was over almost 4 years later, 3.5 years later, when the FBI came in after Megan Nichols' body was found.
Right. And here's another thing, and I'll just mention it. You know, her remains have not been released.
Yeah.
Why
so, I wonder?
Because they won't be released till all the appeals have exhausted. And Mr. Merbarger won't be sentenced either until all of the post-trial motions have been heard by Judge Molt. Judge Molt made it pretty clear that he didn't want to have a sentencing until any and all post-conviction motions have been heard. Yeah. I'm not talking about appeals. I'm talking about motions.
Right.
And one of the motions that's still pending is a motion for a new trial, which is very common in any murder case.
That happens. I mean, they look for like a mistrial.
And you know, that's
it may or may not occur, and it probably most often does not occur.
Absolutely. But anyway, Judge Molt's not going, and so the sentencing could be sometime next month, December, could be even into January before he is sentenced.
Wow. I tell you what.
That's just interesting.
To me, it is just fascinating how slow the whole process works. But they were dotting every I and crossing every T, weren't they?
Absolutely.
That's just a fascinating story. We're talking here to Len Wells about all kinds of a wide variety of subjects today. He is from crimebeat.net. Take a look at that on the internet and sign up for their
it's free. Everything's free. There's no paywalls.
All free. It's you guys got advertisers, I guess.
Yeah, there's some. If you'd like to advertise.
Yeah, if you'd like to advertise, by all means, make a connection there. It's good stuff.
Thank you.
You're watching Big Talk with Bruce Dickey. Back to Len right after this.
In 1916, Warren Miller chose auto owners insurance. Later, his son made the same choice, as did his grandson. And today, his great-granddaughter did the same. As we reflect on where we've been, we're grateful to our independent agents and to those who have put their trust in us, and to the generations who will. Auto Owners Insurance.
Harrison Insurance in Louisville is your local independent auto owners insurance agency.
Make Carnaby Square in downtown Fairfield your fashion leader. We're the little boutique with the big inventory of beautiful, trendy outfits and clothing in a wide array of your favorite name brands. And don't forget our large selection of jewelry and accessories. Carnaby Square is Southern Illinois' largest dealer of Brighton. At Carnaby Square, we take pride in our one-on-one, knowledgeable customer service and look forward to helping you create your own special look. Plus, always free gift wrapping. Find endless gift ideas 24/7 at CarnabySquare.com and on our Facebook page. Shop the fashion leader in downtown Fairfield, Carnaby Square.
Napa know-how. At Flora Auto Parts, you can count on the Napa know-how experts to have the solutions to keep you running on the road or in the field. More than just your car, your locally owned Napa store carries a large inventory of parts for farms, heavy trucks, and just about everything that moves. Experienced counter people understand your needs and are ready to help with the perfect part at a great value. That's Napa know-how at Flora Auto Parts.
When you want an honest deal and hometown service without the runaround, go to Lamont Chevrolet Chrysler in Fairfield. Let Gabe McGahey, Sheldon Bunning, Jeff Black, Dennis Downs, Matthew Rogers, or Caleb Dunn score the best deal for you on your next new or pre-owned vehicle. Parts and service departments with factory-trained technicians and express lane and state-of-the-art tire and alignment technology. Lamont always inspects your battery, antifreeze, wipers, and tires for free. We want you prepared for the open road ahead. Open 24/7 at LeMansOnline.com. You'll like the way we do business.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Big Talk with Bruce Dickey.
That's big talk right there.
That is big talk. I was busy doing something, and I had a bad day.
I'm so sorry.
I had a good day and a bad day.
Well, this is a good day. This is a great day.
It's a great day. It only happens every so often, every 5 or 6 weeks, because Lynn is antisocial that I get to see Lynn. Thank you very much for coming. Ladies and gentlemen, Lynn Wells is here.
Thank you.
From Crime Beat.
I'm happy to be here. Thank you.
From crimebeat.net. And we've talked about a few weird things. When you take a look at crimebeat.net, you'll occasionally see it. And maybe it's just me, but it seems like every 5 minutes I turn around and there's another pedophile in Wabash County.
There's a huge federal trial going to start the 14th. That'd be next week. Federal trial for a guy by the name of Michael Ferris from Mill Shoals, Illinois. And he's going to probably, assuming he's convicted, and I don't know that he will, be doing some serious time for child porn, across many states. In fact, he's been indicted in the state of Oregon. And he's got $1 million bond on that, but he's currently in federal custody for sharing this stuff and luring kids into this. Oh, it's terrible, but he's from Mill Shoals, so Michael Ferris. So that's a case I'll be watching.
The good thing is, and
he's in jail. That's the best thing.
It's interesting to keep an eye on. The folks they're cleaning up.
Well, it's getting easier to catch them.
That's good.
I'll tell you that.
That's outstanding.
Because of technology, it's getting easier to catch them. But anyway,
speaking of technology and its use in catching folks, there was another interesting arrest. Now this one has not gone to trial yet.
Innocent until proven guilty.
Innocent until proven guilty, and
a young man
who is clearly has a commercial bent.
He is in a heap of trouble.
In a heap of trouble. Tell me the story here.
Well, it actually goes back a few months ago. The suspect's name is Trevor Edwards, and he's from Fairfield, Illinois. And Trevor is 21 years old. And the feds caught him over in Washington County, which is not that far from the Metro East, right? Nashville area. They caught him with a load of counterfeit goods. And the counterfeit goods, you think counterfeit money? No, it wasn't money.
Yeah, you think counterfeit goods, you're thinking money. You think cash.
No, what he had was cell phone cases. He had cell phone cases, just like this is in a case, and it's kind of neat, orange because of the University of Illinois and everything. Yeah. Well, these were like designer cell phone cases, like Gucci.
This you can see that this is well used.
Yes, it is, but that's not really a designer cell phone case, even though it is.
No, it's not.
But anyway,
this cost me like $50.
Well, these probably cost 4 or 5 times that new.
10 times that.
Yeah, probably 10. But like Gucci and some of the names I'm trying to Givenchy and stuff like that, and they were all fake knockoffs.
I don't know if Jordache even still
exists. Jordache, no, that's another story. I'll tell you about that later.
Yeah, tell me later.
Jordache. But anyway, they caught him with hundreds of these cell phone cases. Okay. Hundreds, and they're phony.
They're fake.
And then he also had in his possession hundreds of cannabis pens. What do you call those? Vape pens. Cannabis vape pens. Hundreds and hundreds of those, too, that he had. Now, I'm not sure if those were knockoffs or those were just, you can't have those, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But he had those. But that's probably not the most interesting thing that he was in possession of.
Okay.
Cash. How much cash do you think he had in his possession when he was arrested?
Well, if you're carrying around...
Now, he's only 21 years old, and you're carrying around counterfeit goods.
Carrying around a bunch of cell phones and all those
cell phone
vapes.
Cases, not even phones.
I don't know, $10,000.
How about $240,000 cash? 21-year-old suspect with $240,000 plus in cash stuffed in DeWalt tool bags.
Really?
Yes, empty. Not empty. They're stuffed with cash now. So the feds seized all of that. They seized the vape pens. They seized the knockoff cell phone cases and arrested him. Okay.
Okay.
So anyway, he gets released on pretrial, what they call pretrial release for whatever.
Recognizance, whatever.
Yeah, recognizance. But I don't know. Here's what I don't know. He did something that got his release canceled. Whatever. What am I trying to say?
They got him. He was
revoked. They revoked his release.
Right.
So they brought him back into court earlier this week. No, I'm sorry, late last week, and had a motion, a hearing for detention. Had a detention hearing for him, and a federal judge, J. Philip Gilbert, ordered that he be held in custody without bond pending trial
in federal
court. So out of U.S. District Court, Benton.
So this whole thing is federal.
It's all federal, every bit of it. Okay. So the feds have also filed a motion to...
That kind of answers one of my questions. I was wondering, does Washington County get that $240,000?
No, they'll get part of it. But if it is forfeited, but the feds have filed a forfeiture motion for the cash, $240,000, all that counterfeit stuff, and his 2000-something Chevy Silverado pickup truck.
Oh, nice.
So he is not going anywhere till trial. He's 21 years old, walking around with nearly $250,000 cash. To me, that's horrific.
Well, that's also almost they maybe had a good day at the track.
I doubt it. But I don't know that. I don't know that. He may have.
We don't know.
He's not that far from Fairmont, right?
That's exactly.
Are they running yet?
Yeah. Well,
that could have been it.
They do the they will have they'll have the television stuff.
Well, that's right. So it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
He could be betting on races in Dubai.
There were some really good races over the weekend.
Belmont Stakes coming up?
Well, no.
Not Belmont. What's that other one?
The Breeders' Cup.
That's what I meant.
It was last weekend.
Oh, I missed that. I'm sorry.
Too bad.
But speaking of thieves, now there's another thieving story that will just break your heart.
Oh, I hope not.
Well, it will.
Oh.
It comes out of Carmi, Illinois, 62821. Okay?
Yeah.
Carmi, Illinois has a organization called the Christmas Elves, Inc.
Oh, I heard.
But your audience hasn't.
No,
but
you tell.
Terrible.
You tell. This is terrible.
But I'm hoping somebody can help out here. So the Christmas Elves, they put on the lighted Christmas display at the fairgrounds, and they charge a little bit of admission to get
Each
through.
community has a different apparatus for how they celebrate Christmas. And down in White County,
they have a beautiful light display at the fairgrounds. And there's an admission that you pay, and they take that money and the Christmas Elves then turn around and give it back to the community. And one of their major charities is getting shoes and coats, brand new, to children in need and veterans.
That's nice.
Fabulous program. Hundreds and hundreds of kids, and not just in Carmi. The surrounding counties, all the schools, they get name brand like Nike, and I could name all the Fila, and all these name brand new shoes they get, okay?
That's outstanding.
Hundreds of kids benefit.
Give these shoes to the kids.
And they get to pick them out. They don't say, oh, here's yours. They say, here they are. Pick out your size. Pick out you want, whatever you want. So it's a wonderful, wonderful program. So they had these shoes.
Store them at some particular place.
In Carmi on Plum Street in a building. Somebody broke in last week and stole thousands of dollars worth of brand new shoes that were supposed to be going to the needy children of White, Edward, Wabash, Gallatin, I don't know, all these counties around. Awful. And veterans, boots, tennis shoes.
Adult for veterans.
And somebody stole them. So if you know anybody, if somebody comes up and gives you a hot deal on some shoes, call the Carmi City Police Station. Call them. And
do they have any leads at all?
They have one lead, and I can't talk about it here.
Fizzled or something?
No, I just can't talk about it on.
You're not going to talk about it on television?
Online or on the air. I'm sorry, I can't.
That's too bad.
But I can say that all I can say is we may have hit upon it earlier in the program.
Okay, all right.
But anyway, that's a terrible story, but hopefully somebody can come forward and find whoever did that. There's a $500 cash reward for any information leading to an arrest in that particular case. Shoes for the needy.
Did you... do that. Do pay attention. Did you? I'm going to mention not this election. You've covered elections over the course of.
I have. Not my most fun.
What are some? But there have to be some interesting nights where you saw like dramatic events took place on election night.
No, not really.
You never saw anything.
Not really.
You had to see something.
No, I can't. Machines blowing up, not working.
No, I'm talking about maybe
upsets. You mean stuff like that?
Yeah, like a candidate walking up to the wall and turning away and saying, "I'm going to kill somebody." Right?
No, I can't remember anything like that. I'll be honest with you, Bruce Dickey. I hate politics. One of my least favorite assignments was election coverage. I hated it. I'm sorry.
Hey, that's fine.
Absolutely hated it.
Well, I didn't say that you liked it. I said it was part
but I don't
of your
remember
job,
anything.
And you did that.
I don't remember anything interesting other than you. A lot of times would go into the courthouse and they have good food there. They have a big spread of food while you wait for the returns.
That was the problem.
Okay, you want a funny story?
Yeah, I do want one.
How much
That's
time
why you're here.
Do you have
That's
time?
why I gave you $300 at the Firefly last night.
$250. Don't try to inflate it. And
go ahead.
Cheating me out.
You got 3 minutes.
I'll make it quick. So I was working at the Republican Register.
2 minutes.
Republican Register in Mount Carmel. That's how long ago that's been. That paper doesn't even exist anymore.
No.
So I was covering the election, and it went into the wee hours in the morning. I mean, almost the sun coming up. And gosh, finally got that put to bed, did everything, and went home, went to bed. And anyway, I got up. Well, it's time to go to work. It was the stupid time change, and daylight. And anyway, I went to work, and as I walk into the office, everybody's leaving. I said, "What's the deal? What's going on? Why is everybody leaving?" Well, it's quitting time. What do you mean? So I had gone to work like just a few hours after I'd gone to bed. It was quitting time instead of the next morning I went in that evening. My brain was so scrambled as far as what time of the day it was. I went in at 5 p.m. instead of 5 a.m. I felt stupid, really stupid. People were leaving as I was going to work.
I was sitting there having an argument with a waitress yesterday. The special on the sign was Taco Tuesday or something. I said, "Your sign's wrong."
And it was.
What do you mean your sign's wrong? What do you mean my sign's wrong? Well, it's not Tuesday.
Yeah, it is.
I had a big argument with the. She says, "Yes, it's Tuesday."
That's probably because every show
it's Tuesday all day long.
And she was right.
And she was right.
And it was election day too.
I'm just sitting there, man. I'm an idiot.
Well, that's what happened to me. My brain was just fried from working all night long. So I went to work at 5 p.m. instead of 5 a.m. the next day.
Well, that's
it happens.
That does happen. Do you have any future changes to crimebeat.net coming up that we can look forward to, or what do you got going on?
Well, we have added
about 30 seconds.
We have added obituaries. I didn't know if you knew that.
No, I didn't.
And we add all the obituaries from White, Edwards, Wabash, and Hamilton counties.
Don't have Wayne yet.
Yeah, I'm sorry, and Wayne County, and Wayne County. Those 5 counties, all the obituaries, all the funeral homes participate. So if if you're curious about, a friend or loved one, that just check it out.
Yeah,
the key thing about crimebeat.net, it is refreshed and updated every day, several times a day.
Several times a day. It's you'll find new stuff more often than you will on your regular Facebook crap that you read.
And if you don't keep it updated, there's no reason to even have a website. Period.
Exactly right.
That's true.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me, Bruce.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for tuning in here today to Big Talk with Bruce Dickey. Tomorrow we'll be back with Take the Points. Going to talk football. We'll see you all tomorrow. Have a great day.